Hi folks, welcome back to the Horde. It's about 4:45, Monday the 20th, about 35 degrees out currently. You can see it's getting dark. My batteries aren't completely charged. About 2 degrees centigrade, and I don't have enough light to make that one go. So what am I up to today? Well, today's a kind of try to get organized day. I've remember the CDI project? Well, I finally bought a little box to put everything in, and this is the switch I came up with. I'm not quite sure I'm going to use that part that covers the switch. Basically, when it's on, this thing lights up, and when it's off, well, that's on, and then that's off. So the end of it has an LED in it, so that's pretty cool. I went with an official pigtail rather than go with this rat's nest here. I mean, rat's nests are always nice, but if you're trying to put together something reliable and if it's going to get bumped around, it's better to put this on for real, right? Both of these clip in properly into this, so that's kind of important if you're trying to put something together that's reliable. So there's that much. And then I mean, you guys already saw the coil and the CDI, so there's no surprise there. You can see the box it's all going to jam into, and the thing doesn't use much power, so I'm going to go with the battery holder. 8 1.5 volt batteries gives me the 12 volts I need to make the whole thing go, and with the lighted switch I can see if it's on or off, particularly if I leave this this top thing on it. I can know it's off because if I flip it down, it's guaranteed off. So you look at all this junk. How much do I have invested? Well, these guys here, these coils, they're about $11 delivered. The CDI, the right one, was $16 delivered. These battery cases, they're cheap. They're $1.05. I picked up a few of them. It's either $1.05 for one and $6 postage, or for $16 you have 10 of them, right? So rather than ever have to buy them again, I picked up some extra. The pigtails, I don't know how much these were. Oh, these were $8. But once again, this gives me the ability to hook up properly. Switches were cheap. Switches were $3, so I picked up a few of these just in case I decide to wire something else up. The box was the most expensive. The box was $8. So over the next few days, hopefully I get some time to jam all of that together. So that's one thing I wanted to talk about. I'm not sure if I'm gonna I'm not exactly positive how I'm going to set this up. Probably I'm just going to put it together in the box and have the high tension lead hanging out. Obviously I don't need power leads anymore because the batteries are self-contained, but I do need 2 leads coming out for the Hall effect. I do need a ground wire coming out, and obviously one for the spark plug, and I think that's it. So I think there's only going to be 3 wires, well, 4 including this one. I think there's only going to be 4 wires coming out of the box. Other than that, the box would be self-contained, which is a good thing. So there's the CDI project. Guys, we already talked about this whole thing here, right? So you guys already saw that, GM Lover was after this. Well, just in case you have one of these that goes bad, these are about $10 delivered. These guys used, not sure if they're working or not, probably working, I don't know, they're like 15 to 25. Guaranteed working, where somebody says it works and he tested it, they're like 25 to 75. So when you could buy them brandy new for brandy spanking new for like $10-12 delivered, you really want to. do that. And what I have here is the wire diagram for that. So what you got to do is rewire this guy, and you guys have seen most of this before, right? And you basically got to wire it so that this works. If anybody's really interested, please ask, and I'll go through a little more detail. To wire to this thing so that everything is kosher, probably what I would do is, if I wasn't going to pop for the socket, if I wasn't going to, I mean, this is the male version of that, but if I wasn't going to go, you could go through eBay and look up ATC connectors, or, you know, pins and stuff like that. Do a bunch of searches, and for, I don't know, like $15 they give you a kit so you can make your own, or you could cut this off, Dremel it all off around, and just have the wires sticking out. And with this guy, looks like you got to hook up to 5 wires, but gently hook up to those 5 wires. Once again, it depends on what you're going to do. Some people just say, oh, I'm going to solder up to them, put some shrink wrap on it, and you're all good. And you are all good. Your issue, though, is should this go bad, or you suspect it goes bad, now you got to unclip everything to install another one. So sometimes it pays to spend the $20 and put an official connector so that you can just slide it on. You know, depends. Some guys are real sloppy with their wiring, and it works and it never gives them any trouble. Some guys are really neat and clean and do everything right, and they still have a whole heap of trouble. Today is kind of the last warm day. After this, it's going to start getting cold, and they got another one of those, I don't know, what do they call them? Arctic blasts, Arctic twisters, Arctic something's coming through. So it's going to probably be a little harder to come out here and get much done. I would like to get this rig off the back of the truck and into the house. Now that it doesn't have snow on it, we can see it a little better. Once again, the front tire holds air. The front suspension's in really pretty good shape. So when it comes to, I'm not sure if this is going to become a runner or if this one's going to become parts. I'd really like it to become a runner. I'm not quite sure why. I really don't need another one, but I would like to see it become a runner. From a parts point of view, though, that front tire, brakes, handlebars, suspension, couple hundred, rear end, 250, and then you got whatever comes out of the motor, depending on what kind of shape that's in. I am really concerned with this bike, though, that the guy's kids got to it, and it actually has the bad stator syndrome. I'm really concerned about that. It's full of oil. Somebody took the air filter out of it. If you take the plastic cover off the top of the box, I don't know if maybe you can see it. The air filter is out of it. But what I need to do is pull that plug and spray a whole load of WD-40 into the cylinder, and then get this cover off and see if I can't put a wrench on it and break it free. You guys can see that tire stayed up. And this tire over here obviously went down. You can see the shape the plastic's in. Right, I mean the trunk's there, but it has a hole in it. The rack is pretty decent shape. I think it had a trailer hitch on it, because I thought it almost got me when we were loading it. The tail lights, this one is broken, the other one's broken, the headlight's missing. You know, I don't see them that they fooled with the wiring here, but given that this is not seized, right? I'm really surprised that the engine is. I don't know. I guess until I get it into the garage and start fooling with it, I won't know. So, this thing, I mean, look at this exhaust. It still has the guards on it. Still in really nice shape. Once again, the front tire is OEM, right? But you had to change the backs. But the backs, even considering that they were replaced, for a second set of tires, they don't look bad. I don't know. I'd like to see it run. Obviously, I got another dead gas tank here, right? If it wasn't for my hip, I'd tear this thing right off the back of this thing now, and right, yeah, I'd tear it off the back of this thing now and get it inside and do something with it. You know, I don't know if I'm talking to any retired folks out there, but I've been off of work now. Friday, it's about 6 weeks. If you add up all the time I've been out, for about 6 weeks. And it seems like I'm always busy. I go to physical therapy 3 times a week. It's only 2 hours, but you got to get up a little early to go, and it takes a little while to get there, a little while to get home. So call it 3.5 hours. I find that after physical therapy I'm exhausted, so I kind of need a nap, which is another couple of hours. And then there's like all kinds of things to do. This whole operation thing, it seems that I'm in touch with my insurance company, and I'm in touch with the billing department, and then I'm in touch with all the individuals who say, hey, we haven't been paid yet. So that seems to burn a lot of time. It seems for being home, and once again, being in reasonable shape for quite a while, I sure am busy. Look at that bug. I seem busy all the time. It seems that I don't have as much time to play as back when I was working. And I'd like to think I'm still as organized, or maybe I'm just moving slow, but I'm not getting done everything I'd like to be getting done. That's for sure. It also always seems that if I need something, part of it's up here and part of it's down in the house. So I've been wanting to get all this stuff into one place so I could find it, and some of this other junk put away so it doesn't get moved and swept off and disappear. Right? Organization is a big hunk of success. About this bike, one person made a comment, and I find it amusing because he maybe he's right, but his comment was, stop buying junk and fix some of this stuff. It wouldn't let me return his comment for some reason. I'm not sure why it wouldn't let me respond, but and I got to just smile. When it comes to these three-wheelers, if you could get the parts, you get them. At some point, you're not going to go out and be able to get anything for a big red because there won't be anything out there to go get. So if I can get a deal on stuff, I'm going to get it. But his comment on fixing this stuff is also true. And toward that end, this guy here, while I was cleaning up the basement, I found a rear end that's in good shape. The bearings appear tight, everything moves, everything's good. For those of us who have these floating around, make sure you put them on something soft so that you don't round off the bolts or screw up the bolts. Right, you want to be able to get these in and out. So cleaning up is positive because one does find parts that they need. So I have what I need to put the rear end in this guy. The engine does run on its current ignition system. If I put some kind of tank on it, throw the rear end in it, theoretically I can be out screaming about on this thing, riding it. So that puts another bike in the running column without too much work. Alright guys, this is kind of a I don't know what to call this video. Let's just call it a vlog of projects, and we'll see how it goes. I was thinking about this box here. The big annoyance is this CDI unit has a built-in advance, and there's no way of disabling that electronic advance. One is stuck with it. It's there, and it is, and that's what's there. Without that electronic advance, theoretically, if one just put a little bit of a charge on the front end of this where the pulsar was, you can just close a set of points, and it would theoretically work on everything from a Briggs & Stratton to a Tecumseh to a Kohler to a golf cart to, you know, things with points or things with these pulsars in them, which would be a great thing. I think even a Hall effect would work. With the Hall effect, obviously, you'd have to put a charge there, because the Hall effect is the equivalent of just closing points. It doesn't generate any real electricity. It just changes the resistance. So that can kind of be like the next step of this project. Wouldn't it be great to be able to bolt this even to a Briggs & Stratton and just hook to the points, and then you don't have to worry about what stupidity happened to the rest of the engine. It all works. Anyway, take care, folks. I'm out of time. Tires down, handlebars up. Live, love, and have a great time. Thanks for watching, commenting, and subscribing. Bye now.